morning, flower friends. It is CSA day, but it's also Mother's Day bouquet building day. I have several deliveries, several pickups, and I have a ton of tulips and daffodils, and I need to get started right away. Got my coffee and I'm ready to go. It's too hot. It's too hot. So I've been preparing for Mother's Day for more than a week now. Basically, every tulip that I have harvested and every daffodil that I have harvested have gone into my extra refrigerator that I have in my breezeway, and which is about 38, 40 degrees, and they've just been lying there. I was originally putting them in there with the bulb still attached because that extends the time that you can actually keep tulips, but after doing some more research, I found that if you're gonna be using those tulips within 7 to 10 days, that you really don't need to keep the bulb attached. So I decided, because it was taking up so much more space in my refrigerator, I needed to chop the bulbs off to cram as much in there as I possibly could. Now you want to make sure when you put your tulips in the refrigerator to store them for any length of time that they're dry, number one, and that they're not overcrowded. If they're not dry, the chances of mold developing in the pile of tulips that you have in there goes up. So make sure you're storing them dry. Oh, I got a new hoodie. I forgot. Yeah, I got excited. I got a couple new hoodies because I only had the black and the white one and I wanted more because I wear them all the time. I was wearing the black one like 4 or 5 days in a row and it was filthy. So I needed some more to switch it up. Okay, so I'm in my garage. It's about 43 degrees in here right now. It's not heated. We do have a pellet stove in here, but we don't use it all the time, only when we're out here hanging out on the weekend or something like that. So I was able to remove a bunch of tulips from the refrigerator and let them hydrate overnight. When you take the tulips out of the refrigerator, it's kind of terrifying because this is what they look like. This is because they need to be hydrated. So last night I put a couple hundred tulips into water. Now you'll notice that some of the tulips in here are drooping like this still. In fact, a couple of them were, and I ended up pulling them out and realizing that their stems were not hitting the water. So I'm gonna go ahead and hydrate these again today. This is not the extent of the flowers that I have to work with. The refrigerator is still full. These are just the ones that I'm using today for delivery. So another thing that I'm using in my Mother's Day bouquet are fern pods. These are sensitive ferns. These are what's left over at the end of the season. This is how it reproduces. These are the spore pods. I have thousands of them down in an area of my property where it stays pretty wet for most of the year, and a little pond forms in the spring and kind of dries up. It's actually dried up right now, but we're in a little bit of a drought still. So we ended up going down last night. Now we're driving down to harvest fern pod head things. Hello, garden. Oh gosh, it's so bumpy. Okay, bye. Make sure you don't get me when I'm bending over, because apparently you can see through my pants. Would have been nice if someone told me that before. Claims that he did. So another thing that I harvest from down by the pond is this Bog Myrtle. It's something that just grows there every year. It just reproduces everywhere. It's a little bit invasive down there, but I did a vase test on it earlier this week, and so far this is day 6, and I'm really loving the way it looks. I'll show you. So these are just little stems of it, and basically I cut it at ground level. There's a ton of them down there. I will need to go back down tonight and harvest some more because I have more things to make tomorrow, because I am delivering on Sunday as well. Tomorrow morning I have pickups. So I have 35 pre-orders for my Mother's Day bouquet, and I also have CSA members that are doing a straight tulip bunch this week. My CSA members opted, I gave them the choice this week to do a straight tulip bunch because I have so many, or to do the Mother's Day bouquet that I was offering the general public. So most of them opted for the straight tulip bunch because they were offered the Mother's Day bouquet last week. So most of them took that last week. So this week it's straight tulip bunches for my CSA. And then the Mother's Day bouquet is a mixture of specialty daffodils, tulips, and then the bips and bops and bips and bops. So I actually have some customers coming to pick them up in about an hour, so I want to make sure that I get stuff started. Oh, I have a bucket here full of water too, and I'm using that because when you peel, most of these are cleaned, but some of them I just harvested last night and I didn't actually get the dirt off them yet, so I'm going to have that bucket right here. I'm going to use the Pretty Princess in some of these as well. Oh gosh, these white parrots are amazing. Oh, this white marble has a broken arm. I'm so sorry. Looks like it got too cold. Oh, I love it. I'll go over what each of these are. Okay, so there are a dozen stems in here. We have a white parrot tulip. We have Pretty Princess. This right here is called Double Foxtrot. And then we have Piste. This Piste will turn, it's starting to stripe up, but it'll get even more of a striping color on there. It's absolutely gorgeous. And then we have Apricot Beauty. Apricot Beauty. I have another one that's called Apricot Delight. And then that's it. We have, oh, and Mamma Mia. Mamma Mia is an amazing, gorgeous flower that I'm just obsessed with. Oh, and I forgot about this one. It's a fringed tulip. So I had a mix of 100 fringed tulips, and a lot of them are this color, but a lot of them are like a deep, dark purple, and they're fantastic. So anyway, bouquet number 1 is done. I've got some vases on the other side of these buckets. I'm just gonna get to work. So this one is a little bit different. We have a purple lily flowering tulip, which is right here. It's gonna get more purple, obviously. And then we have, oh, this is the purple fringed tulip. Let me see. Yeah. And that will color up and turn completely purple. Love it. These color combinations are just lovely. And I really, really want to put like a red or a yellow in there. I could probably get away with a red, but I think I'm gonna do some other combinations because I have pickups tomorrow. And I guess people can choose their pickups when they get them. So I'll make a bunch of different combinations. I just realized I didn't put a white tulip, a white parrot tulip in here. Better take the rubber band off. If Lily gets this, she's gonna be mad. Take out a Pretty Princess. And put in a parrot. So the way that I keep track of my CSA is through Google Sheets. I just have a spreadsheet and I have everybody's name, address, delivery pickup, and then I have the dates of the CSAs, and then I write down whether or not they come and get one or not. That's how I keep track of it. That's also how I keep track of how many bouquets I need to make for the week by just looking at who replied and said that they were gonna grab one. I'm loving this one with the yellows, the greens, the reds, the yellows, and I'm gonna put some parrots in here too. Oh, that is just so, let me get it to be. I just really love the freshness. What do we got here? Go with another lily tulip. I'm out of rubber bands. Where did I put the bag? So unorganized. My fingers are frozen. This water's cold. My fingers are frozen. Whew, I need to warm up, get my coffee. This one's my favorite. It's got a lot of apricot pinks, and I snuck a Pretty Princess in there, and also a couple of red parrot tulips. I just think this is gonna be beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Look at that parrot. I love it. So I have 6 done. Let me see what I need. I think I need 9 for delivery. Okay, I need 2 more straight tulip bunches, and then I'm gonna work on the actual Mother's Day deliveries. Okay, so I have all the CSAs that are getting picked up today ready to go. They're gorgeous. Now, I've been joined by, see her? Blooper's down in here with me. She's usually in the basement with me, but now she's in the garage with me. Okay, so now I have a couple of the actual Mother's Day bouquets that I was offering to people to make. I'm delivering them along with my CSA today. So I am going to get that started. So like I said earlier, it's a mix of specialty tulips and specialty daffodils. Now, daffodils and tulips can be together, but if you cut the daffodils, you have to separate them from the tulips for a little while, a couple of hours in their own water, because they exude a sap that can kill the tulips. Even after you give it to your customer and they trim the bottoms of the flowers, that could also kill the tulips. So you want to make sure your customers know, do not trim the daffodils and the tulips together, and if you do, separate them in a vase for an hour or two and then put them back together again. So because I had such really tall daffodils, really long stems, I cut some of those now and I'm letting those rest. Those will be the ones that I use in tomorrow's bouquets. I'll probably do them later tonight, which I think this video is probably gonna be over the course of a 3-day period. Actually, it's 4 because of my harvesting of the fern pods. So, okay, so I have my fern pods. Right here, I have some stems. Now I'm gonna put together these Mother's Day bouquets. Okay, so the way that I advertised this was 6 or 7 these specialty tulips. Most of these are specialty tulips. There's very few single ones. An assortment of specialty daffodils with some bips and bumps and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start pulling things. I'm gonna start with some tulips. I've got a white marble. Everybody's getting a pretty princess. Everybody. Turns out, I don't hate her. I really kind of like her in arrangements. She kind of melds the cooler colors and the warmer colors together. I really think so. Woo! Okay, so I have the specialty tulips and the specialty daffodils, and now I'm adding the little sprigs of that. And then I'm gonna add the fern. Now, I know it's much easier to set this up like a procession line where you have like tulips, daffodils, tulips, and you just grab from each pile. I just don't have it set up this way, and I don't mind this. It might take me a little bit longer, but I'm enjoying the process. Yes. Bringing in the specialty daffs like the flower drift and the replete and the Tahiti allows me to add like a yellow tulip to an arrangement where I wouldn't normally add a yellow tulip. It's just fun. It's just all these springy colors, the Tahiti. All right, I'm gonna wrap this up. It's gorgeous. It's quite springy and lovely. Not to mention it smells good. Where am I going to put this? Another one. The red vibes on this one. This one's for my Aunt Joanne. My cousin Val lives in Texas, and she emailed me yesterday and said, hey, could you do a delivery to my mom? Yeah. So this one's gonna be a little bit more than the normal stems. Oh yeah. Some pink charm daffodils. I want to give her a Tahiti. I gotta get one out of the fridge. Okay, so this one's jam-packed already, and now I just gotta add the bips and bops. This is lovely for my Aunt Joanne. Got a nice assortment of things in here. Yay. So normally my customers have their bouquets just rubber banded and handed to them. But for Mother's Day, I usually do something a little bit special. So I have some paper and I have some stickers and some cards so people can write to and from when they pick them up, or I write on them when I'm making a delivery. So I'm gonna go ahead and get those prepared for the 2 that I did for my deliveries today. So this actually was born out of necessity. So I had a couple of deliveries the other day, and the customer asked me to make a card, and I'm like, I don't really have cards. I've never had cards, but I did have gift cards. And on my gift card, I had my logo, it was heavy cardstock, and then the amount, to, from, amount, date, etc., etc. There's a piece on the floor right there. So in order to make the card, I just cut off the part with my logo and used the back of it, and I was like, I really like the way that looks. So I printed out a whole bunch of just logos, and I cut them out so that they're individual little heavy cards with my logo so everyone can see where the flowers are from. And then on the back, we can write whatever we want on here. So I put 12 on a page on my Photoshop file, printed them out. It's heavy cardstock, like heavy duty. And then I have a couple of tools that I have to use, which here's my craft paper to wrap the bouquet in. And then I am using, well, I have stickers that I had made last year, so I'm using those as well. It's funny because the stickers have my spring logo and then the cards have the fall logo, and I love them both, but the fall logo, I just like, it has that pop, and I love them both. And then I have a hole punch because that is how I attach the cards to the bouquets. And then I have some twine, really easy. Yeah, so I'll show you how this works. Oh, I also have tape, which I think I left inside. I gotta go get it. Okay, so here's the first bouquet. This is being delivered today. I'm gonna grab my piece of paper. Now, I'm not an expert at this. I just started doing this the other day, but it's fairly simple.
That's fairly simple, all right. Not for me.
Okay, so I just wanna wrap the very top because I am delivering them in water, usually. So I'm just gonna wrap the top just enough to where I can put some sticker and stuff on it. My tag that I have here, and I'm just going to put a hole punch in that. And then on the bag, say right here, put a hole punch right there, and then I just slip my little piece of twine through the hole, through the note card, and then tie this in a little bitty knot. So I've got a little bit of a fancy logo there and a fancy logo in the front. It's delicious. I did tape this together with Scotch tape because I found my stickers not sticky enough to close the gap. I tried that. I wanted that, but it's not. The sticker was coming off. I'm delivering them in black floral buckets with just about an inch of water on the bottom, and that'll cover it. Okay, I wanted to just pause and show this a little better. So basically I'm working with a square or a rectangle, and I folded the end in. Now, a lot of people use 18 by 18 inch sheets that are pre-cut. I do not have those. I would like to get those. My fingernails are filthy, that's life. So I ended up having these rolls that I picked up at the Dollar General store. They had them for $1.75 each. So basically, I would take my bouquet and go here, wrap, and wrap. Now, most people will do this, staple it right here. Well, guess what? I have a stapler. I don't have any staples, so I had to use tape. So I ended up taping it like that. But if you have a stapler, you can staple it and then fold it over, put your sticker right there, and you're good to go. And then this is the final product. You have the card that people can write on the back of, and then if you turn it around, I have a sticker there as well. One of my CSA members, oh my God, I get so emotional. So one of my CSA members just came to pick up her bouquet and had some gifts for me. This adorable sign. I love it. I'm gonna put it somewhere. And then some ranunculus. She brought me flowers. She came to pick up her flowers and she brought me flowers, but these are some ranunculus that she said she bought a plant from Lowe's, so it's nothing that she grew, but she bought a plant and these are what had grew and she thought I needed to see them, and she's right. I needed to see them because my ranunculus, as beautiful as the plants look right now, and they look great, they're not throwing any buds yet, which it's okay. It's okay. I should have had flowers by now, but I really think that the early cold temperatures stalled them a little bit, so I know that the plants are gonna produce flowers, they just haven't yet, so thank you so much. So I think as a special treat this week, I'm going to wrap up my CSA customer bouquets the same way, the ones that I'm delivering, because I just really like the look, even though I don't know, it's a lot of extra work, it's a lot of extra material, but it does give that finished look. So I don't know, maybe I'm like second guessing whether or not I should do this on the regular. So I've already made 10 orders and this is still what I have left. And I'm not even kidding you, my refrigerators are still full. So I think I'm definitely gonna have extra, and I'm just gonna let people know, hey, if y'all need bouquets, I'm here. So I'm gonna make as many as I can tonight. I'm probably gonna set the camera like a GoPro style and just create. So anyway, I'm gonna go make these deliveries and I will see you guys later. So I have my first bunch ready for delivery, and I have another bucket with 4 in it as well. So these guys, I have to say, they're a lot easier to put in buckets and keep separated. When I put in bouquets without little wraps around them, I'm constantly intertwining the stems from one bouquet to another. Sometimes they get caught and tangled together and they get snapped. This, it's very convenient to pull in and out because they have their own sleeves. So I guess there are benefits to sleeves. I've been poo-pooing them for a long time just because I don't like to use things that are wasteful. And to me, craft paper is kind of a little bit wasteful, but I guess there are some benefits to it, and I might be changing my mind a little bit. But anyway, I love it. I just made this delivery and look what she left me. It's a seltzer and some dark chocolate. Thanks, Dirty Lily. Also, Lily has grape hyacinths coming up in her yard, and she's mowing around them, and that makes me so happy. We've been making bouquets for a long time now, and we actually have about 35 of them done. Not all of those were pre-order, some were pre-order, and then we have some extras because guess what? I opened up the porch. It's time for the very first bouquet bar at the porch, but people won't be making their own bouquets, but the bouquets will be available on the porch. Because guess what? Tomorrow's forecast is 100% rain. So I had not planned on using the porch until it was done over. It's in the process of a renovation. We just have to clean the porch. But can we just, like, there are so many flowers left. There's flowers all over the ground. There's buckets of tulips, but I'm excited. I'm gonna get up early in the morning. I'm gonna make a few more of the lower price, the $15 bouquets, so that there's a little bit of selection for people. I'm having $15, $20, and $30 bouquets. And basically the $30 bouquets, those are the Mother's Day bouquets. The $30 bouquets were the pre-order, but I'm also gonna have, you know, at least 10 of them available for purchase. So if you're new here, this is the Bouquet Bar porch at Flower Hill Farm. And last season I had tremendous success with hosting bouquet bars where people would come on the porch, make their own bouquets, or purchase a pre-made one. We did some upgrades to the porch this year, and it's still in the it's like totally in progress. My mom's supposed to be painting the deck part and all the white, just a lot of things that are not done yet. And I look really short because I wanted you guys to see the lights. This is my favorite place to be. I might have a few favorite places to be, but this is one of my favorite places to be. It's pretty magical up here, and we spend all of our time out here in the summer. And I don't have all of the equipment that I need, but I have a couple of tables set up. I just swept the porch, my mother-in-law and I. All of my plants that were hardening off, we had to move from this side of the porch to that side of the porch, so they're all over there just waiting to be put into the ground as soon as it stops raining. But yeah, so the lawn called off on account of rain, so we are definitely going to be having people pick up their bouquets here on the porch tomorrow morning. I'm really excited to be back on the porch. It's been a long winter. Oh gosh. So this is one of my gifts that Brad got me last year. It was a surprise. He just ordered it for me. It's a chalkboard, double-sided chalkboard. It was really inexpensive, and I've been using it ever since because I had this little tiny chalkboard that I was using for the bouquet bar. I couldn't fit all the names of all the flowers on there. So this is super handy, and it's super awesome because it's chalk marker. So these chalk markers also I think he got on Amazon. Just amazing. And guys, I'm gonna tell you, I had the bouquet bar prices on here for 6 months. I just washed this for the first time in, I mean, more than 6 months. I think September I had frost. So my last bouquet bar was in September, and this is now May. So I just washed it for the first time and it all came out. Here's my washcloth. Oh, the washcloth has pretty colors on it. So yeah, it didn't stain. I know a lot of people were wondering if it was staining. No, it didn't stain. So I'm just gonna put a few things on here because I don't have, you know, we're not selling by the stem today, but I wanna just say Happy Mother's Day and then the bouquet prices. And I'm not like an artist, so it's pretty generic. It's so fancy, you can barely see it. Maybe I should make a block letter. I can do a mean block letter. I can. Oh, you know what? That's why. It's got the ink that you have to kind of push on for it to become active. Oh, look at that. I think I need to do the pink over. Oh yeah. I'm a good tracer. Shoot, I just said it and I screwed it up. Shoot, I screwed that one up. I'm just gonna erase the whole day. Green! Good morning. It's about 6:30. Been up for a little bit, but now is the time to start moving all of the bouquets out to the porch. As predicted, it's raining. It's not a heavy downpour, but it is a solid rain, so it's gonna be loud out on the porch today with our tin roof, but that's the way I like it. Doesn't make for great video. But anyway, I'm gonna start setting up the tables. I've decided instead of sitting here for the 4 hours while people come and go, I've had 2 customers so far, it's 8:15. And one was a pre-order, but she also bought an extra, and then the other was an extra. So only one of my pre-orders has gone so far. So I decided to make tomorrow's bouquets while I'm sitting here instead of just sitting here. So still have lots of stuff to sell. So I ran out of craft paper. I started using wrapping paper. At least I have like silver and rose gold and regular gold. That's what I started using for my wraps because I literally ran out of craft paper, and the closest store that sells that's like half hour away. So someone just called ahead and asked if they could order 5 of bouquets, so of the pre-made ones that were extra, not, you know, a pre-order, and I only have 2 left, so I have to make more. So I'm gonna make those now because she's on her way. I've had to warm my coffee up 3 times, and I had to put like gloves on because I'm freezing. It's only 42 degrees out, which is perfect for the flowers. So far I have sold half of my pre-made bouquets, and I've had a few of my pre-orders come up, but I'm kind of I'm making more from the stock, and I figured whatever doesn't sell here, I can just combine together the $15 bouquets to make my pre-orders and stuff like that. So just working, go in the flow. I need to sit down. Okay, so it's a little bit after 12, and one of the last people who pre-ordered just came to pick up her stuff. Holy guacamole. So about 20 minutes ago, a woman who watches my videos, hi Dawn, she came representing a local organization that was hosting an event tomorrow, and bought out almost all of my tulips for an event tomorrow that they're hosting for Mother's Day. And she actually said that they'd like to do some more events with my stuff, so that's exciting. So anyway, they bought a lot of tulips. So I am now going to finish making the rest of my deliveries tomorrow. I have a few made, if you can see back there. I was making them while I was selling, so I ended up selling all of my extras and making bouquets on the spot. I had about 5 or 6 people who showed up and I was out. So instead of saying I'm out, I just made bouquets for them on the spot. So technically sold out, but I still had flowers, so I didn't sell out. So now I have to use what I have left to finish making. I think I have 15 deliveries tomorrow, so that's about all I can squeeze in. I mean, it's Mother's Day. I kind of want to spend some time with my family too, so tired, guys. But anyway, it's a very successful weekend. I'm excited to make deliveries tomorrow. Got a couple of my own family members included in that delivery, so very exciting. I want to recap Mother's Day quickly. Just thank you to all my customers. Sales quadrupled from the year before. And that has nothing to do with the fact that I had quadrupled the amount of flowers. It's just really nice to have the community support this and what I'm doing here, and everyone seemed to really love it. They loved the uniqueness of the flowers. It was something that you don't find, you know, it's so fresh and so beautiful and so unique. people were telling me that when they see an arrangement of flowers that they know it's mine, and that really means a lot. So I have a couple of funny stories from delivery day on Mother's Day. I'm gonna try to get through this without like tearing up and crying, laughing so much, because the first one is we had a delivery for 108 Street, right? So it was 108 was the address, and so I come up on 106, and then the next house, there's a little bit of a gap, and then the next house was 110, and I'm like, wait a second. I have a delivery for 108. Where is 108? So I'm driving, I'm turning around in driveways, I'm looking around, I'm like, is there a secret hidden driveway somewhere? I'm looking this way, looking that way. I'm about to pull in someone's driveway and go knock on the door and ask where 108 is. And I almost called the customer too, but I logged on my computer and I looked it up on the computer instead of my notes from where I was supposed to deliver. Yeah, it was 118. If there would have been a house 108, I would have delivered to the wrong house. It was fate that there just happened to be a missing house for 108. So, whew, close one there. And the other story, it cracks me up. So Veda was with me the entire time for deliveries. And then my phone rings as I'm about to pull in my mother's house. And it's Brad Pitt. And Brad says, hey, a lady is here with flowers that you just delivered. She says she doesn't know a Catherine. I was like, okay. So I had just delivered flowers to a woman who lived on Main Street from a woman named Catherine. And so I wrote on the card, Happy Mother's Day from Catherine. And so I said, okay, and I said the address, and they're like, yep, that's the address. I said her name, and she's like, yep, that's my name. So I was like, oh boy, what else did I screw up? So I get into my mom's driveway, I get on my computer, and I look it up, and I say, no, that's it. Like, it's a girl, her name is Catherine from New Hampshire. The lady, they started screaming, laughing. They go, we only know her as Katie. Oh my gosh, it's such a big surprise. So they drove to my house to return the flowers because they thought it was delivered to them by mistake, and it was definitely not. They had never referred to this Catherine person as Catherine. They had always called her Katie, so it was even a bigger surprise, and I could hear them through the phone, just all giddy. Everyone was rolling in tears, so whew, I thought I screwed something up, but I didn't. I almost did, but I didn't. So because of this Mother's Day and how things ended up going, I have made some changes for next year already. And I had kind of anticipated that I was gonna have more sales this year than I had last year. I only did 15 last year, total. For next year, I ordered double the tulips. Double the tulips that I have this year because I really wanna have a Mother's Day bouquet bar, like a build your own bouquet bar for Mother's Day. People just seem to really love it and to make their own choices and to look at that, oh, I want that, put that in my bouquet. And that's what people really seem to want to do, kind of that experience. So I really want to be able to make it a Mother's Day event, like a whole Mother's Day weekend where you can come and make your own bouquet or make one for someone else and just get more of the community involved. So I'm making changes now in order to make that happen next year. And y'all know I'm gonna have to like have some sort of cooler to make that happen, because either that or like 3 more refrigerators. A cooler would be ideal. I mean, it's gonna happen. It just hasn't happened yet. There's a list of things that I have to have, and we're slowly checking them off. So anyway, that's all I wanted to share with you guys for Mother's Day. It was an absolutely insane, I mean, 18-hour days for days, 18-hour days. So, but it was very successful, and I'm very happy with how everything went. It definitely has me even more excited for next year. So thanks for sticking around, guys. We'll see you soon. Mom's house. I made this pretty thing, and Veda's gonna give it to her. Mother's Day.
Thank you. I love them.
You're amazing. So are those.
Thumbnail.
My back, I just did something, I tweaked it. Oh, I stood wrong. Oh, it's from all that bending over. I'm okay, I'm all right, I'm gonna be okay. Don't tell me to go to the doctor, I'm fine. It's much easier on a table. It was definitely easier on a table. It's easier when it was just tulips too. The daffodils are making it. I don't like it, I don't like it. But I'm not on camera. Tying a knot. Oh no, it's slipping. It's a slip knot. Day delivery from Flower Hill Farm. The Hill of Flowers. The camera's all crooked. In bouquets in the rain, bouquets in the rain. I'm happy again.